Hey, I hit my goal, 10 subscribers. Woo! Man, I'm so excited about this. All right, it may not sound like much, but hear me out. Every big life accomplishment comes from steady, small goals that get reached. And I'm huge on weekly improvements, making small, tiny goals. This 10 subscribers is a sign that I'm moving things forward. I could look out 3 years in the future and be like, man, I'm not at that point. I don't have thousands of subscribers, and just get bogged down by that sort of weight. Or I could just go incrementally one day at a time. I've been posting almost every single day for the last 75 days or so, something like that. And the goal is to just get better at it. If I waited until the videos were at the standard that I have for what should be put out, I wouldn't have put out any of it. I know what it's like to make a higher quality video, but I couldn't wait until I got to that point to then start trying to put out a consistent amount. It does take a lot of effort to put out this much content, but at the same time, it's rewarding to get these little milestones, and I love it. That's one of the big reasons why I'm doing this, is to see how far I could go down the list of small goals. Even if nothing happens with this, ultimately, I will have learned a skill that I haven't learned before in the past. If I take it back to when I was a wee lad, when I first started making music, I would write down lyrics, and the whole goal was to just see if I could create something from scratch. It wasn't about being big or anything like that. It was just about having fun making stuff. I had some friends, Corey, Brandon, Curtis. They really helped propel me into the future, but that's a story for another day. We used to go to Brandon's house and try to record stuff. See, this is back in the day, okay? We would set up this massive boombox stereo with a mic. I think it was hanging down from the ceiling. You had to record from one tape to the next, which plays the music from one tape into the next alongside with a microphone input. So you could play the song all the way through and record it all in one take. So I remember us recording it all the way through one take. If somebody messed up, we had to start all over. One day my cousin was like, hey, you guys could do this on the computer, right? But man, there was something amazing about crafting something in that way. You get those little hits of dopamine that keep you going, keeping you wanting to do this more. And that was the reason why we did it. It was fun to do. It wasn't just about making it big. In fact, I feel like the stress of trying to make it big ruins that feeling. You stop thinking about those small little tiny goals that you want to hit, and then you just go ahead and compare yourself to the big artists out there or the big artists in your town. You're not thinking about the little tiny wins that they had, the thousands of incremental small steps that they had. You're just thinking about where they are and where you are. And that can ruin your motivation. So stop it. By the way, I wish I knew where those tapes were. I would love to hear what I sounded like back then. I'm sure it was the best thing ever. Once we were recording ourselves on the computer, getting used to that, we started inviting people over to make songs with us. And that was another incremental goal, was just to network with people and have fun doing that. Those times were huge for me. I learned how to communicate with artists. I learned how to record artists and make their music the way that they wanted it to be made. I learned thousands and thousands of lessons by doing that. We didn't really skip any steps. We painstakingly learned every single lesson like a punch to the face. I say this a lot. The day that you stop learning is the day that you fail. Never forget that. Fast forward to now, 16 years doing this full time as an audio engineer, helping artists every day, trying to hype them up, doing my own little music thing on the side as a hobby thing, but still I'm trying to create new stuff. I'm trying to move the goalposts forward all the time with as many mistakes as I could make. Even right now, the video quality is killing me. The motion blur on this camera is killing me. I'll fix it later, but for now, I just want to get the content out. This attitude that I have is the reason why I'm still able to do this all these years later, and why it still excites me and why it keeps on getting me to push forward. This is why I'm starting the YouTube journey. I know that it's going to take thousands of videos, thousands of hours, putting myself online, embarrassing myself, but that's fine. I've done it so much in the past, I don't really care anymore. Call me what you want in the comments. I'm sincerely grateful for my first 10 subscribers here on YouTube. My next goal is 100, then 1,000, then 10,000, then 100,000, so on and so forth. I use these bigger goals to help give me a guideline of what direction I want to go in. And then I break those bigger goals into smaller goals And then I need to make smaller goals to help those smaller goals, so on and so forth, until I get back down to a daily routine that helps point me in that direction. I don't care if I make it to that big goal that I initially had. In fact, a lot of times once you get close to that, you realize you either don't want that, or it looks so different to you at that point that you don't really care about that goal anymore. And now you've made some other goals over here, which is great. At least you have the experience that you've earned learning all those things. This definitely lifts the pressure and anxiety off of the big goals, focusing on these daily small steps. One of my big goals is to get monetized on YouTube, and that could take years. Being in that mindset of pushing that goal out far takes the pressure off of me, and I could just make whatever I want and try to get better. For example, if this video only gets 5 views, I don't care. I'm just here to make some stuff, get better at it, and keep on producing. I know that this video is not going to go viral. Why should it? And if I'm going to make thousands of videos anyways, who cares if any of them go viral? The real issue is I got to make thousands of videos. So I better get better at it. I better get better at talking on camera, emoting, setting up the hook and the punchline and the rhythms of the posts. There's so much to learn, and it's actually exciting to get into it. I have an obsessive mind that always wants to really figure something out. This is a good way of exercising that. Ask yourself what your long-term goals are. You're not going to magically jump from where you're at today to that big ass goal over there. So write down those steps. Start with big goals. Come up with 6-month goals that you could then write smaller goals, 1 month to 1 week to then 1 day. What can you do today to further that goal? If you're only thinking about today's goals and your long-term goals, then it could get discouraging. So create some goal points in between. Where do you want to be 3 months from now? Are you getting 1 comment per post on Instagram? Well, your goal needs to be an average of 2 then. You're only getting 3 likes on a post on Instagram. How can you get 6? If you're going to meet those goals, you got to get better at making content. And that means that you got to post more. That means that you got to pay attention to it. One of my long-term goals is to be able to speak on camera all the way through. I want to do a video where I don't cut anything and I'm able to speak to you guys in a room by myself and articulate my ideas in a way that you can digest. I have a habit of rambling, so I need to figure out how to communicate these massive ideas that I've got swimming in my head that are hard to put out into cohesive thoughts. I need the videos to be entertaining as well. I know my tone is really monotone right now, and sometimes I don't emote enough, especially when I'm looking at a screen with some notes on it. So I got to get better at that, and it's tough for me. This does not feel natural to me at all. I'm very much outside of my comfort zone doing this sort of thing, but I'm starting with something that I love, which is trying to help artists grow. Whatever it is you need to do, start with stuff that you love, something that you can't live without, and do more of that. That is your superpower, and that's what you're going to need to use to then learn all these other little goals around it. I've got a family, and I'm a full-time audio engineer, so I need to make sure these videos happen quick and concise, so the only way that I can manage that is by chipping away at it over time. 10 subscribers is amazing for me. I know you're really busy, and it feels extremely overwhelming, but what I want you to do is just start. Take the pressure off. Who cares about winning or losing? You just need to start. Chip away at it, little bit by little bit. Get better. Keep working those goals. If you're a creator, there's no end to those goals. There's no end to the amount of stuff that you need to create. So get good at building a rhythm that you can build a life around. And that's what's going to make you successful. I don't care about going viral at all. I care about, can I maintain this for a long time while being able to handle the other responsibilities in my life? The process is what feeds your soul. The goals, they come and go. You'll hit one or you'll change one. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that you are staying consistent at what you love doing. Who cares if it looks weird? Man, I made a beat with my chickens. I took chicken sounds and I made a beat with it. I said I'm a chicken dad in a video. I grew up around hardcore rap. I made a remix to a Taylor Swift song that you could find on TikTok or Instagram. YouTube wouldn't let me upload it. But I'll tell you what, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, okay? It was weird, but I tried to make it the best that I could, and I put it out anyways. If I'm able to communicate to you at all, please let me know in the comments. I want to know if what I'm doing is working or not working. Do I ramble too much? Let me know. I want to reply to everybody. I appreciate you guys, especially if you've made it this far watching this video. it took a lot for me to get to this point and to be able to share it to people with 10 subscribers. So I appreciate you guys.